something that motivates us. It's all about contributing to our well-being, to our wellness in life. And my opinion is that if we live a life with purpose, we're already halfway there.
Welcome everyone to Wednesdays with Wallis. I'm your host, Wallis Pattisonn. Welcome. Well, today's show is going to be a goodie. I'm going to talk about joining the silver economy now, and that's really, really important. Some really good information for you. A bit of a look at, again, this whole idea of the silver economy and why you need to be part of it. And this is for you if you're 55 plus, 65 plus. This is for you if you're looking at leaving your job, if you're a bit over what you're doing, but you'd like to be doing something else. Excuse me while I scratch my eye. You'd like to be doing something else. You'd like to be beginning something else if you're still at a job and you're thinking, well, I'd like to begin something now so that by the time I get to retirement, we're going to talk about that, because that's a bit of a, a bit of a syndrome, isn't it? The whole retirement thing, talking about that and the things you think you're going to be doing in retirement that you're probably not. But it's good to have a plan. Have a plan. It probably won't work out quite the way you think it will. But, do that anyway. So let's look at the fact that you're perhaps 55 plus, 65 plus, 60 plus, around those ages onwards, and you're thinking you'd like to be doing something else. You're looking around now thinking, what will that be? What would I like to do? What are the sorts of things that are available to me? And we're going to be talking a little bit about that as well in today's show. And in fact, very soon I was talking to one of my staff members this morning about us turning in a little while after our launch, which again I'll talk about in a few minutes. We're launching our new Bold Not Old membership tomorrow, which is going to be very, very exciting. And, it's going to be exciting for you because it's an opportunity to help you with some of these questions that you might have running around in your head, or the things that you have unanswered at this point of time. So let's move on to our show today, being Join the Silver Economy Now. And those of you who may have been watching or listening to me over these last few months, and I was looking today, we've done about 74 shows onwards and upwards. It seems to me that we need to do a whole lot more, but here we are. We're still here, and we're doing more and more shows, and I've been honing a lot over this last few months actually on this area of the silver economy and what does it mean. So let's kick the retirement syndrome thing, because we can get locked into the whole thing about retirement and thinking that we're going to be able to retire. And look, depending on what job you hold or what you're doing, you may well be in a financial position to retire, but the chances are that you won't be. You'll think yourself that you will be, because you'll have put in place your superannuation, and you might have a healthy superannuation. But if you do your numbers and you look at the whole financial area, and we won't go into that today, but certainly if you're looking to retire and just live off your lump sum of money that you've put away, your nest egg, it probably won't cut it, because, not unless you're in a position where you've managed to probably pay off your mortgage and you're debt-free from the perspective of anything that you own, motor cars, homes, all those sorts of things. You may well be able to live off your retirement fairly frugally for the remainder of your life, but my knowledge and my understanding and my experience in life says you probably won't. So if you want a life and you want to be doing something else, I'm suggesting take a look at this whole area of the silver economy. Now, what does that mean? What is that about? Well, I guess it's about, it's not just a social, it's not just a whole social movement or a social area. We brandish around the things of aging and aging population and those sorts of things, and that's true. That is absolutely true, which is the thing that's driving this whole area of the silver economy. But we're talking about global economic shifts. We're talking about, things that we've never seen before, opportunities that are arising out of that economic shift, that unprecedented move that is being driven by an aging population. So look at it as a long piece of string. At this end, you've got an aging population, and there's a whole bunch of social issues and a whole bunch of things in there that, governments and people thought they'd have to be keeping people as they got older. We'd have to keep in place, social schemes to, give those people money and have them, living frugally, because we all know that the pension won't cut it. That's, below poverty line, and that's not going to do it. But what it's engendered, this line, if we look at it, is this global shift, this global economic shift. And I'm not getting into the whole social movement, which is another area of discussion. I am personally particularly interested in the global economic shift and the unprecedented paradigm shift, if you will, that's being driven by this aging population coming in at this end. And I would think, I don't know the exact years for it, but within the not too distant future, in areas like the United States, we're going to see about 75 million people. That's a lot of people, folks. 75 million people coming out of the workforce. And that means what? We've already got a workforce crisis on our hands since COVID. So these enormous shifts that have been taking place and happening are, on the one hand, you could look at it and go, well, that's, negative and it all sounds really awful. But if we don't look at it in that way and we look at it as in what can we take advantage of and what can we do with that, well, then we're looking at this whole area of this global economic shift that is being brought about by an aging population and creating a silver economy. Okay, let's look at a couple of things. There's some ideas in here for businesses. If businesses are on the ball and they're looking at this shift and what can they do with that and the resources that gives them, then those older people finishing work or wanting to retire, so to speak, are really not looking to retire. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that people are not necessarily looking to retire. What they're looking to do is they're looking to cut back on the amount of hours and the amount of time they spend in a job. Yes, I agree there are people who are looking forward to leaving the job and getting out of it. But having said that, they still like the idea of some dollars in their pocket, and they still like the idea of being gainfully employed in something if you're of an employment mindset. So looking at that idea for businesses, it's a resource that's there that needs to be tapped into and something done with that. And you know, there's lots of ideas for that. I won't go into that today on behalf of, you know, companies and ideas for them. I'm particularly interested in putting to you some ideas for you in your so-called or, you know, your thoughts around retirement that you might have to rethink. So let's say that we are rethinking. Not long ago, I decided that with all of my huge amount of years of experience, and in the last couple of years, the enormous amounts of money that I have spent in educating myself in relation to the internet and how you build a business on the internet, how you do that for yourself, what that's about, how that comes about, who's out there, who's doing what, etc., etc. And I've taken some fairly big courses, and I've taken some short ones. I've done lots of work around you know, the social media areas, and I've done, you know, lots of work around building a business online and taking that opportunity to share your knowledge and your skills and your gift. Now, years ago, when people said that to me, I sort of, you know, it was a bit like the deer in the headlights. I looked at it and went, whoa, wait, you know, what gifts, what skills. I'd always been an entrepreneur, so I guess that a little unlike some people who'd done or had a career in one particular thing where they could look at it and go, well, yes, I've built a skill in that area. I'm an engineer, or I'm a, you know, I've done certain things. You know, I can lean back on that. And you might want to. So, you know, what I'm saying is just simply, you know, fairly straightforward in what I'm saying. But I didn't have those things. I've done a lot of things, and I do actually have a lot of qualifications, which I don't talk about, because at the end of the day, my attitude about qualifications, sorry, you gorgeous academic people out there, and I have academic qualifications as well, and not wanting to pick at you, but, you know, those things, and I'll be very, very coarse in saying they're not worth jack shit, really, unless you can take it and you can turn it into something, you know, that improves your life and does something for you. Otherwise, you just simply got another job for yourself, and it doesn't matter whether it's in academia or whether it's in a big company or, you know, whatever you're doing. It's still just a job for yourself, and not being horrible about that. But at the end of the day, there's lots of, you know, restrictions around a job when you're going to work every day, and it's a home to work, work to home, home to work, work to home. Just got to keep my eye on the time, because I have a lot to say about the silver economy today and the opportunities that exist for you. And there are many, many of them. So back to where I was when I was doing courses and doing things, and those types of things were said to me many, many years ago. I'm talking, you know, mega years. I don't want to say how many years, it gives away how old I am. But many, many years ago, you know, those things were said to me, and I sort of was like, as I said, a deer in the headlight, and I didn't really have any idea what my skills were and what I could take to the world and what that would look like, and, you know, who was the really unique me. Those things I want to answer for you, and I'm going to answer those things for you and help you with that in a very, very good, definitive process that will take you through helping you with that, which in those years I didn't have. I had to flounder and fluff around trying to learn those things. But the new membership that we're launching tomorrow, which will actually officially launch on a webinar on the 26th of next month in June, we're actually, or is it the 24th? It's on the website. Go to the website, boldnotold.com.au. We have everything up on there at the moment, including the ability for you to join the membership, and it's called the Bold Not Old membership think tank. It's a entrepreneurial think tank, really, and it's about being able to come on board, be part of a weekly webinar that goes on each week, and we're going to have guests on there and yours truly, and you're going to be, it's amazing. You're going to have fabulous help. So if you come to the table, so to speak, bring your idea, bring what it is you're thinking about, and at this point of time you might be just thinking about it, you haven't really got a grip on it, well then we'll help you get there, we'll help you get over the hump of that, and we'll also talk about, during those times we'll go through a lot of information so that during your membership in this next 12 months and ongoing, if you want to then do other things with us as time goes on. But for this initial 12 months, we're going to have a webinar every week, and I will be on that webinar personally, either presenting or as part of it, we'll be having a Q&A at the end of it, which you will be able to put your questions forward. I don't want you to not do what you really want to do because you can't get your questions answered. I've been on those types of Q&As, and you put your hand up basically, and it's a bit potluck as to whether you get your question answered or whether you get any help. This isn't going to be like that. I'm going to stay on there, whether it's the next hour or 2 hours. I'm going to be staying on that webinar until you get your questions answered. And hopefully you'll not only get your question answered, but lots of other people will have their questions answered, and those things would be probably, incredibly helpful to you too. I know when I have attended webinars and done things where that type of, not very often, but where that type of thing exists, it is very, very helpful, one, to get my question answered, and to hear other people's questions get answered too, because I may have had more than one, and it's helpful to hear what everybody else is doing and what's being said to them as well. So that's launching. Tomorrow I'll be putting out some videos online in relation to that, pardon me, and we'll be talking about that, doing videos on it, presenting it, and it's worth every bit of it. It's just phenomenal, because I am phenomenal insofar as, no, in a lot of ways, but the knowledge I have, the expertise I have to share and to give you in this Bold Not Old membership, to help you launch something for yourself, to create a laptop lifestyle for yourself if you so wish, to simply have a side hustle for yourself, whatever it is you want. And it's an entrepreneurial endeavor, meaning that you want to have something you're doing for you. This is for you. Okay, this definitely, absolutely, this membership is for you. And for the first 90 people, and only for the first 90 people, because I can't repeat it, I just simply can't get hold of it anymore. I purchased this for a lot of money, and so it's not a take. It's legitimate, totally legitimate. It's a legitimate company here in Australia that I joined with on this, and some big travel companies. And so you'll be receiving when you join, and you don't have to pay the whole membership for the year. I'm sticking my neck out because this is a monthly membership for Bold Not Old. You'll be paying it monthly, and this is $1,000, up to $1,000 accommodation package for travel in worldwide. And it has a couple of little restrictions to it, so it's not a take. It's not something that I'm, giving you, and it's got, loads of other things attached to it, strings attached to it. It doesn't. It's fabulous. And when you join Bold Not Old, you'll receive that as well. So for the first 90 people, they are going to have that. Bold Not Old membership. Subscribe to our channel for Wednesdays with Wallis, which is fabulous. Join the silver economy now, and join it by joining Bold Not Old and our new membership program, and that will lead you and give you a platform into the silver economy and your opportunity to be part of it now and to create some exciting additional money for yourself and some things that you might want to have, maintain and keep on. You might want to maintain your lifestyle and go, like me, I don't want to have less than what I have. I'd perhaps like to have more, but I certainly don't want to have less than what I have right now. So I'm just like you. I want to maintain my lifestyle. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do things. I want to be able to go and experience things. And I've got a dicky knee and I need to, take care of getting that fixed. So I want to do those sorts of things for myself as well. Thank you for listening. Subscribe. Hit the buzzer thing below and subscribe to Bold Not Old Wednesdays with Wallis. And we will see you soon, and hopefully I'll see you as a new member of the Bold Not Old community and our Bold Not Old think tank. Thank you for joining. Have a terrific week. Be fabulous. Do wonderful things with your life, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.